Yugoslavia, or the land of the South Slavs, was a sovereign state uniting several ethnicities in the Balkans, formed after World War I. Yugoslavia encompassed many ethnicities, including Roman Catholic Croats, Muslim Bosniaks, and Greek Orthodox Serbs.
Yugoslavia includes modern-day Slovenia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Serbia, North Macedonia, Montenegro, and Kosovo. In the 1990s, armed conflict broke out, but to understand the conflict, one must understand its history.
In 1931, a radical group called the Ustaše formed in Croatia. They were a nationalist and fascist organization inspired by Nazi ideology. Before and during World War II, they engaged in many terrorist acts against other Yugoslavs. As a group, they aimed to remove the ethnic minorities that they deemed as threats to a national Croatian identity. After World War II, and with the defeat of the Axis powers, the Ustaše completely fell.
World War II was a very scary time to be a Serb. The Ustaše desired to wipe out the ethnic group of Serbs by creating concentration camps, the biggest one being known as Jasenovac. Getting Grief, a World War II scholar, claimed that Jasenovac was more brutal and dangerous than any other concentration camp during World War II.
With some of the background, it's easier to understand conflict at the end of the 20th century. In 1980, the president of Yugoslavia, Josip Broz Tito, died. Under his control, ethnic tensions were relatively stable. After his death, power shifted away from the central state, allowing Serbian leader Slobodan Milosevic to take advantage and assert power throughout Yugoslavia. While the Serbs were the victims during World War II, ironically, Milosevic was the force behind many deaths, including ethnic cleansings of Muslims in Bosnia during the 1990s. In 1991, Macedonia seceded peacefully, and Slovenia somewhat peacefully as well. Croatia, however, was more complicated. Because of Croatia's relatively high population of Serbs within its borders, when they sought to leave, Serbia wouldn't let them, resulting in armed conflict.
For years they fought for their freedom as Serbian militias took control of parts of their land. But in 1995, everything changed. Croatia launched Operation Storm, and it was the turning point in the war. In just a few days, their army pushed the Serbian forces out of their capital, reclaiming their land. More than 150,000 Serbs fled, a definite Croatian victory, and a sign they had finally secured their independence. Operation Storm was the moment that brought an end to the war and showed the world that Croatia would no longer be controlled by anyone else.
Tensions remain among some Serbs and Croats today, as Croatia celebrated the 20th anniversary of the success of Operation Storm in August 2015. Some Serbs responded by burning the Croatian flag, a testament of the remaining pain and anger by their narrative.
In addition, schools in Serbia today depict themselves as the victims of the wars, ignoring the war crimes committed by their own country. Whether from the Croatian or Serbian perspective, it's easy to see how this region is full of history and full of complexity.